By 1940, Nazi Germany seemed unstoppable. In less than 2 years, Hitler's armies had crushed Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. The swastika flew from the Arctic Circle to the Mediterranean. To the world, Germany looked invincible. Yet just 5 years later, Hitler would be dead in a bunker, Berlin reduced to rubble, and the Third Reich completely destroyed. So what happened? How did the most powerful war machine in Europe collapse so completely? The answer lies not in one single mistake, but in a chain of fatal decisions driven by overconfidence, ideology, and strategic blindness. Hitler's first major error came at the moment of his greatest success. In May 1940, German forces trapped over 300,000 British and Allied troops at Dunkirk. The destruction of Britain's army was within reach. Then, inexplicably, Hitler ordered his tanks to stop. That hesitation allowed the British to evacuate their forces across the English Channel in what became known as the Miracle of Dunkirk. By sparing Britain's army, Hitler ensured Britain would continue the war, creating the conditions for Germany's eventual destruction. Soon after, Hitler turned to the Battle of Britain. Instead of focusing on destroying the Royal Air Force, he shifted to bombing British cities out of rage and pride. This gave the RAF time to recover. Germany lost air superiority, and with it, any chance of invading Britain. But these early failures paled compared to Hitler's greatest mistake. In June 1941, he invaded the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa launched the largest invasion in human history. Nearly 4 million troops stormed eastward. At first, the Germans advanced rapidly, capturing hundreds of thousands of prisoners. Hitler believed the Soviet Union would collapse in weeks. He was catastrophically wrong. The vast size of the USSR, its enormous manpower reserves, and its ability to relocate factories beyond German reach turned the invasion into a war of attrition Germany could never win. Worse still, Nazi brutality transformed potential allies into bitter enemies. Entire populations that initially welcomed German troops were driven into fierce resistance. By winter, German forces, unprepared for cold, froze, starved, and stalled outside Moscow. The Red Army counterattacked. Germany's dream of a quick victory died in the snow. Instead of learning, Hitler doubled down. In December 1941, he made another disastrous decision, declaring war on the United States. This brought the world's greatest industrial power fully into the conflict. From that moment on, Germany was doomed. American factories began producing weapons on a scale Germany could never match. The Allies outproduced, outmanned, and outsupplied the Reich in every category. Then came Stalingrad. Obsessed with prestige and symbolism, Hitler refused to allow retreat. An entire German army was encircled, starved, and destroyed. Over 90,000 soldiers surrendered. The myth of German invincibility was shattered forever. Behind these military disasters lay a deeper problem: Hitler himself. He ruled by ideology, not reality. He ignored his generals, micromanaged battles from afar, and demanded blind obedience. No retreat orders turned setbacks into catastrophes. At the same time, Nazi racial policies poisoned Germany's strategy. Instead of building alliances, Hitler created enemies everywhere. Resources were wasted on genocide rather than war production. Millions of forced laborers sabotaged factories instead of strengthening them. And while Hitler dreamed of miracle weapons, the Allies focused on practical power. Radar, code breaking, mass production, logistics, and cooperation. The Allies cracked Germany's Enigma code, giving them near total insight into German plans. Germany was fighting blind. Ultimately, World War II was not decided by bravery or technology alone. It was decided by economics, intelligence, and leadership. Hitler lost because he overreached, underestimated his enemies, and trusted ideology over reality. He created a war Germany could never sustain and refused to admit defeat until everything was destroyed. The fall of the Third Reich was not sudden, it was inevitable, and it stands as a warning. When arrogance replaces reason, even the most powerful empires collapse.